What's up, guys? This is Devon.
And this is Mark.
And we are super excited for this week's episode of
Vibe LA.
Your weekly breakdown on what's happening in Los Angeles. Every week, we cover a range of topics covering music, real estate, lifestyle, fashion, events, culture, and so much more.
Yes. And this week, we're actually going to be talking about a few things. We're talking about the new nightlife spot, Murano, apartments, the cheapest place to rent in Melrose, a little bit about our EP coming out, The Bird, which is the electric sharing scooters going around LA.
And if we have time, we're also going to dive a little bit into the hypermansions that seem to be sprawling up like weeds all across LA, and some out-of-the-box date ideas to turn up this heat this winter.
All right, let's kick it off. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, so kicking it off, we're going to be talking about the new nightlife spot.
What's that?
Murano. It's actually a pretty cool club. Devon and I haven't been there yet.
No.
We're planning on going actually this week. They have throwdowns on Monday. Last Monday, they had, if I'm not mistaken, Wiz Khalifa. I was checking it out on Instagram. It looks pretty cool. I think they just opened on New Year's Eve, and in the club, they have just mirrors all over. It looks super elegant, really nice. Looks like it might be a lot of potential here at this new club. I think Devon and I might go over there and turn it up.
We'll try. I mean, I don't like seeing myself in the mirror.
That might be a little hard.
Might be a little hard. Well, no. Honestly, just to when you're having a good time, you're tossing back drinks and, you have a couple too many and then you see yourself in the mirror. It's like, oh my God. I'm a mess.
I know. That's why I have to carry my Tide stick with me, in case a club rat spills on
That's
me.
That's brilliant.
Damn it.
All the bottle rats.
We're sponsored by Tide. No, we're not.
But sponsor us, please.
But yeah, so we're going to go check that out maybe on Monday. And should be fun, though. We'll keep you posted on that next week. And moving forward, we're actually going to talk a bit about rent in LA. Devon, what do you feel about rent in LA right now?
It is very, 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 very expensive. It honestly, I don't know. I mean, the rent is spiking up so much. I remember when I was living at Sunset and Vine, in the Hollywood area, literally after the first year we moved in, and after moving out, they jumped rent about 35%, which was absolutely obscene. And, that's a trend that's happening. I mean, a lot of LA is rent controlled, but there are still a lot of areas that are not rent controlled. And these areas, the landlords kind of have the ability, or the property managers or owners of the buildings have the ability to raise the rent to crazy levels. And they believe in kind of pushing the trend so that they're pricing, the market a year or 2 years in the future, and it's tough for the market to substantiate it.
No, of course. And I mean, when the housing market rises, as far as pricing goes for sales, the rent market is also going to rise as well. So check it out. We actually have a couple places that we have in mind to share with you about the cheapest places to rent in Melrose.
Definitely good to know.
Yeah, so we're looking at one right now on Elmwood Avenue. It's a really small studio. It's 475 square feet, and it's going for $13.45 a month. I mean, it's a little bit updated. They got some nice 1920s hardwood flooring and stainless steel appliances, which you see being very basic additions and updates in units and homes. But in the comparison of the rental game right now, it's definitely one of the best out there. So if a studio isn't kind of your thing, there is one over on Barton Avenue. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. It has a bit more modern floors, a bit more appliances and amenities to it. There's a roof deck, which is kind of cool. But that one's going for $13.45 a month. I mean, you'll see kind of rental prices continuing to rise with the housing market rising. But over here on Melrose, it's going to be definitely your best bet. We see another one on Lemon Grove. It's going for $1,800 a month. It's a little bit bigger, 625 square feet, and it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. But you can kind of see a trend here from studios being at $1,350 all the way up to 1-bedrooms being $1,800. I mean, kind of depends on what you're looking for, but rental prices are going to be rising up as well.
And here's the thing to keep in mind. I mean, these are obviously, some of the cheapest or at least best offers on the market relative to what you're paying. That being said, I mean, because this is, there's so many people that are looking for property in LA, rental property. I mean, these move quickly. I mean, I remember when I was speaking actually with one of my clients who was a landlord and an investor, and, he put up one of his rental units on the market. This was actually, it was not in West Hollywood, but this one was in Santa Monica. Even still, just to give you an idea of how quickly these move, within 2 days of posting the property on the market, he had 12 offers, 12 applications to rent. I mean, when landlords are in this position, sometimes, unfortunately, they do, unfortunately for the renters, they do have a little bit more leverage, and they're actually able to kind of create bidding wars, which we're used to seeing in the, purchase world, in terms of purchasing homes. We're starting to see that spill over into the rental market as well in a lot of cases. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Over a little bit further north in Newberry Park, Thousand Oaks, Westlake area, I have a rental listing on the market over on Newcastle. And it's a nice home. It has nice mountain views, drought-resistant landscaping. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and it's going for $4,200 a month. I'm just wondering, why isn't someone just buying a place? I mean, with the amount of affordability you can have for just having a down payment of not even that much, and then paying $2,500 to $3,000 a month, you can buy a house. It's just crazy to me.
it is. And honestly, I mean, the biggest, concern or question that people have is, there's 2 real reasons why people don't purchase a home. 1 or 3, let me back it up. 3 is, 1, it seems like a lot. They don't really know kind of how to navigate the whole, process. It seems like it could be confusing. 2, it's, they think, or a lot of people think that you have to have, the 20% set up for a down payment. That's not the case. You're actually able to, in some cases, go as little as 3% down. There's definitely ways that, lenders and different real estate agents can help you out and get you guys situated into an amazing property that you guys are going to love and build equity in over the years. And 3, it's also the concern that, people in our generation relative to generations of the past are looking for a little bit more flexibility. So they don't like being locked down or committed. We have trouble with commitment, obviously.
Especially in this day and age, huh?
In this day and age. But, we don't like being locked down. We like the freedom to pick up and say, oh, we want to go do 6 months in Europe or 3 months in Amsterdam, or, do a backpacking trip across
Thailand. Yes.
Thailand. That sounds amazing.
We're actually going to Thailand in July.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. But one thing too you need to know is that Cal Haffa, they have a new loan program where...
What is Cal Haffa for everybody listening?
So basically, Cal Haffa is broken down as California Housing Finance Agency. And what they do is they provide financing and home loan programs that create safe and decent, affordable housing. So what they have this year is a down payment assistance program to where you can make, as a family, doesn't matter how many people are in your family that are living in the home, you can make up to $178,000 a year and still qualify for a down payment assistance. I've seen clients move into homes, no joke, for $200. It's insane. They have aggressive programs out there. You just got to talk to one of our lenders, and they'll set you up with that. So enough of the boring stuff. Devon, let's talk a bit about those mega mansions that you're talking about.
Sure. So you guys may have heard of the term mega mansion, super mansion. So those are, obviously homes that kind of push the boundaries in terms of what is possible or what even really kind of makes sense for potential buyers. So we're kind of stumbling upon a new breed of houses that kind of push the limits just a little bit further. This isn't, a technical term. It's something that kind of I've coined. I typed it into Google. Nothing came up. But I think it's really the only way to describe these properties. And what I call them is hypermansions. So these are properties that, literally looking just in the past year and a half in terms of what's been happening in the Los Angeles area, we've seen properties at $250 million, $250 million, $350 million. There are 2 for $100 million that hit the market in Bel Air. There's one that hit the market in Westlake Village last week for $85 million. There's another one planned for Bel Air called The One that's supposed to hit the market for $500 million later this year.
And that's the one we're actually going to go GoFundMe. We're going to start one of those so that you guys can help us afford that.
Yeah, so we're going to be setting up a GoFundMe. It's going to be hook Devon and Mark up to have an amazing party lifestyle.com. No, it's like it has literally a nightclub inside the house, like a full stock nightclub. It has a 100,000 square feet. It has a moat. It has a jellyfish room.
Yeah, actually, jellyfish room. That's pretty cool.
Jellyfish room.
No, but honestly, though, I've actually seen nightclubs in homes before. Actually, Devon here has a listing on the market that has a nightclub in it. We had an awesome party for it. We actually, Etiquette and I DJ'd at the club in the house, which was pretty sick.
So yeah, these houses, they're hitting the market at, the 250, the 350, $500 million range. Begs the question, who is able to afford these? I know the one that was listed for 250 million in Bel Air received a few offers. The developer, Bruce Mikowski, he's a great visionary. He had an amazing concept for the house, but begs the question: who's able to afford a $250 million house, let alone a $350 or a $500 million house? So, they kind of. I was actually watching kind of not a documentary, but a run through on the property, and they were saying, there were about 80, 90 people around the world that they reached out to, and it turns out there, were about 80, 85 people. So that was at the $250 million mark. So looking at the $500 million mark. It's going to be tight, slim pickings, but we'll see what happens. I'm just excited to see these crazy, crazy masterpieces being built. It kind of gives you a sense of where the LA marketplace is heading. Luxury is big right now. Properties are selling at sky high records, and these properties are moving and getting a lot of attention regardless. So I'm excited. What about you, man?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Hopefully, we can bring a buyer.
So Mark, what's the word around town? What's the word?
Word is.
Well, a bird.
Segueing, no pun intended, into our next topic, we're going to be talking about Bird and the electric vehicles going around West Hollywood, Santa Monica kind of area. So yeah, the company is founded by Uber's ex-VP, Travis Vanderzanden. Basically how it works is you download the app, it's called Bird Scooter, and you open the app and then you basically follow the instructions. You find one of the scooters around that's left behind by one of the other old riders, and you just log it in, add some money to your account, boom, 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 you're good to go. So how it works is it's a minimum $1 per ride plus 15 cents per minute. So at least $1.15 per ride. And it comes out to be about $5 for every 30 minutes. I think it's pretty neat though how they have, an eco-friendly way to get around town. A bit quicker too. You don't have to spend a lot more money on an Uber or whatever it may be. And it's kind of neat that you can just jump on a scooter and ride around and cruise with your friends. And how it works is after you're done, you just press the lock button and leave it there, which is that's kind of cool. So you get to find the golden egg. You have to go search for your scooter.
Yeah, it's kind of I'd say it's a very close parallel to like what you see in New York, like City Bike. So Citibank obviously has bikes that they have branded and they allow you to take them, kind of use them throughout the day and return them. But this is kind of like City Bike meets, I guess, kind of like Uber for a kick push scooter in a way. It's really cool. I mean, it's definitely different. It's kind of nostalgic as well. You're kicking around on a cool scooter. And is it electric, by the way?
Yeah, it is electric. You just kick it off and then you start the accelerator and you're just off zooming away.
By the way, this is a little side note. This took us like 6 times to record. Just this one part alone. So don't ever expect a live episode from us, or it can get really, really weird.
So yeah, actually, the company had a lot of success. Within the first 4 months, they had 30,000 riders. So a huge success there. However, Santa Monica is taking the company to court. Yikes, I know. Sideswipe. So what's going to happen here is that Santa Monica is saying that it's not safe. Riders are riding without a helmet, which is actually one of the rules that Bird has, is that the riders have to have a helmet, but no one seems to listen. And they're parking their scooters on the sidewalk, driving recklessly, which is not safe to the public. It's obstructing common walking grounds for the elderly, blah, blah, blah. So we'll keep you posted on that. We will kind of find out here what's going to go on. Devin, did you hear about Kim Kardashian's new baby being called Chicago to be nicknamed Chic?
There is something wrong there.
Okay, Devin, let's talk a bit about a few spots that are great for cuffing season.
What is cuffing season, Mark?
Being tied down during the winter.
That sounds unfortunate.
I mean, I like it. It's okay.
All right.
It's good.
No,
like snuggle buddy during the campfire.
I can respect that.
For all the snow we get out here in Southern California.
I can respect that. All right. So, perfect date ideas. What's your top go-to, Marky Mark?
So I don't know about you, Devin, but I like taking a first date out on a nice Boeing 747 jet, having a nice 5-course meal.
What are you talking about, bro?
Okay, look, picture this. Retro flight, Pan Am experience. Your date, 5-star meal on a 747 jet with 1970 vintage detail theme. Tell me you would not love that as a girl. Or would you love it if I took you?
Oh, you're so sweet. I'd love to go on a date with you, Mark. No, but that sounds awesome. That sounds really cool. So
Yeah.
where is that?
The Quantum is in LA, over in the San Fernando Valley, kind of close to North Hills, Van Nuys, Panorama City, Sun Valley area.
Interesting. So that's, you're going way out there, but you're getting an experience unlike any other. I mean, where else, unless you're...
I just want to say, it actually doesn't fly. Like, you're just on the plane. You're not like actually flying somewhere, but it's a cool experience.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's my introduction. Like, hey, you want to go out next Friday? They're like, sure, where? I'm like, on a 747 jet.
Oh, man, you're a heartbreaker, bro. I love it.
Yeah, it usually ends after the first date, though. So.
You're letting them down. But it's still a cool experience. Just don't build it up as much, and, then, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. That's cool, man. I appreciate that.
But tell me yours. Because you have a lot of dating success. So tell me about your first...
I wouldn't say I've had success, but definitely one cool thing that I've done in the past is cooking classes. So one actually really interesting one that I tried. Obviously, everybody or most people, and if you don't, there's something wrong with you, love sushi. So why not take a cooking class instead of cooking, your typical steak, or in LA, everyone's gluten-free and vegan and, locally sourced and, healthy, sun-raised or whatever. Instead of doing all that, why don't you just go and learn how to make your own sushi? So obviously it seems kind of simple. You smack a nice looking cut of fish on a piece of rice, but it's actually a lot more involved. There's a process where they teach you how to mix the rice with the different rice vinegars and, the sugars and make it taste like really, really authentic and rich. And then they teach you how to cut the fish the right way. So it's just super tender and, falls apart in your mouth.
Devon, I mean, I would say that most people out here in LA like sushi. Tell us a bit more about your opening line when you see a girl kind of at the bar, just kind of like...
Not going into that.
No, you're doing it. You're
Not
fucking
going
doing it.
into that.
No, you're doing it. You're telling us.
All right. We'll save that one for our dating podcast, which will be coming out in a few weeks. So tune in.
Buzzkill! But, that's cool, though. It's going to set us up. I like that.
All right. Cool, man. So, I wanted to... One last thing before we let you guys go. Mark has some exciting news.
Yes, actually. So, No Etiquette, Mark Rader, Eddie Russo. We just finished our debut EP for No Etiquette. We have 3 tracks in there, and we also have set up 3 more tracks for the next EP. In here, so basically what we did is we put together an EPK, which stands for Electronic Press Kit. And it's basically a sneak peek of the 3 tracks coming on the next EP, the 3 tracks that are finished for this EP, visuals such as a teaser music video we made. We have visuals for a GIF that we made. We also
You're such a tease.
I know. So we also have a logo done, our pictures done for the logo. And basically what we're doing is we're sending it off before we release it to A&Rs, DJ lists, a few connections we made through the Icon Collective School. And Devon actually has a really good friend, can't say too much, that we're going to be sending it off to, who's a huge imprint in the music scene. Super excited about that. Devon's awesome. He's a good guy. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to throw in one of the songs on the EP at the end of this podcast. So make sure you stay tuned and turn it up.
So I think it's the end of the podcast.
Turn it up.
Let's go.
No breaks. just go. I got no brakes to slow.